On April 16, 2025, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. held a press conference. He shared updates on his goals for autism research. However, many of the remarks Kennedy made during his speech have received intense backlash and criticism. The truth is, much of that criticism came from a deep misunderstanding from the public and even from people in positions of authority. A misunderstanding about the full range of autism spectrum disorder, its symptoms, and what life really looks like for families affected by what is termed severe or profound autism. Let's be clear, autism is a spectrum, which means the severity can vary dramatically. Level 1 is requiring support. This is often referred to as high-functioning autism. Level 2 is requiring substantial support. And level 3 is requiring very substantial support. This is where we see severe or profound autism. This group makes up roughly 25% of the autism population. These are the individuals Secretary Kennedy was talking about.
25% of the kids who are diagnosed with autism are nonverbal, non-toilet trained, and have other stereotypical features, headbanging, stimming, toe walking, etc. Autism destroys families. These are children who should not be suffering like this.
Even though Kennedy was very specific, saying he was referring to the 25%, many of whom are nonverbal, a number of people with high-functioning autism, articulate, verbal individuals, took to social media and the news to say they weren't impacted in the way Kennedy described. But the fact is, they weren't the ones he was talking about.
People in the autism community wholeheartedly disagree with what he has to say.
She is autistic and runs her own business.
I certainly pay taxes.
Autism is not a tragedy at all.
Life as an autistic person is good.
I am a fully functional, productive member of society.
I am autistic and my life is not a tragedy.
To generalize and say none of us can work, date, or contribute to society is completely false. I have a job.
Kennedy was speaking about a very specific group, people living with not only severe cognitive challenges, but also physical disabilities and serious medical conditions that are clinically associated with severe autism. Yet critics accused him of lying, of insulting the autism community. Some even went so far as to say his stance was eugenic.
It's not something gone wrong, it's just different wiring in the brain.
It's not a bug, it's a different operating system.
There are people who say autism isn't even necessarily a disability.
Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted.
Again, it's insane.
Autism means people can't use the toilet stuff from RFK. Disgusting and embarrassing.
Autism doesn't destroy families.
It does not destroy families.
RFK Jr. is advocating for eugenics.
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 His rhetoric is frankly eugenic.
These reactions effectively deny the existence of an entire group of people, along with the intense challenges and conditions they face every single day. Some of the most common and clinically recognized comorbid conditions that often accompany severe autism are epilepsy and seizures, gastrointestinal disorders including dysbiosis, chronic constipation or diarrhea, sleep disorders, severe food intolerance, allergies, autoimmune disorders, chronic infections, impaired immune response, mitochondrial dysfunction, metabolic disorders. Additionally, studies have also shown that individuals with autism often have heightened neuroinflammation. And what many people are unaware of is that some of these medical conditions and even environmental exposures can in fact cause neuroinflammatory conditions that lead to the very cognitive and behavioral symptoms we label as autism. To families of those with severe autism, this is not unknown. They have no choice but to understand the complexity of this condition. They live it every single day. Here's just a glimpse of what life is like for someone with level 3 severe autism.
Okay, just stay here.
So Devin has autism. He got the diagnosis of autism.
Was diagnosed with autism.
I'm the mother of a 28-year-old profoundly autistic boy.
He would stiffen up with severe pain from his gut and would pass out in my arms and would never sleep.
I get 2 or 3 hours at a time.
Probably average about 2 to 3 hours a night.
I've been up for 2 nights straight.
Started running through the house screaming in the middle of the night, flapping his hands and all, like 10 to 12 runny diarrhea stools a day that when I would take them to doctors, they would say, well, that's just autism. Chronic diarrhea.
Diarrhea, maybe 15 to 20 bowel movements a day. I'm having to change his pants every 30 minutes for the most part. I've changed him 5 times since we've been waiting.
He wears diapers. He uses a pacifier.
I now have an adult child in diapers.
You hear that noise in the background? He just defecated in the garage.
A box of diapers a day.
He's nonverbal.
Elvis stopped talking.
No speech, no academic skills, can only understand a few words.
He's not walking, he's not talking, he's not cruising, he can't pull up, he stands on the knuckles of his toes.
Lauren cannot even verbalize her wants or her needs anymore.
You want to sing?
Yeah? I love you. A bushel.
Okay.
Bushel and a peck. Bushel and a peck and a hug around my neck.
He started stimming, doing self-stimulating behaviors.
I'm on him like this pretty much all the time. He's can't stop moving most days. He's into everything. We can't go anywhere.
We couldn't go anywhere because anything was such a sensory assault to him. To travel to grandma's 2 hours away. It was just a hideous nightmare where, we eventually just quit doing it. The constant head banging. All he wanted to do was go in his room and sit on his bed and bang his head against the wall.
Is he going to strip all his clothes off and go sit on the front porch at 4 a.m, which he has done?
We have with this one, pandas, what some people refers to in rage.
He will hurt himself. He's split his head.
He has extreme rages where I think he's in some kind of a pain.
He hits himself in the face. He's punched, kicked holes in the walls, thrown things, lamps, TVs. Wow, okay. He's flipping things right now. So, this is the love seat. We just bought these. Oh, and there's our recliner right there.
You get The only thing I can do is cry with him and just put pillows all around so he wouldn't injure himself because he was just violently rolling.
Screaming, arching his back.
Literally arching his back so hard that only his head and his heels touched the floor.
What's up? Uh-oh. Stop. He's going out. That means I gotta go.
This isn't normal. This is something that happened to them.
The reality is that it ruined our lives. It ruined my marriage. My older son won't speak to me because I didn't put him in a home.
There's a lot of needs. He requires one-on-one attention at all times.
These kids don't have opportunities to do anything that even any other disability group would be able to do. And it's just heartbreaking to know that not only are we trapped in our house, but Brandon is trapped in this house.
He has seizures. He's almost died on me several times.
He had such a horrible bout of falls from the seizures.
Almost lost him from seizures.
We do not wake him up. Every time that we've purposely done that to try to be somewhere, he's had a seizure. If he's face down in his bed when he has a seizure and he suffocates to death, to live your life with those thoughts every single day.
He started having seizures, tonic-clonic, big ones.
I do not want him ending up in state care. I do not want him ended up in some institution.
The first thought in the morning I have is what's going to happen to my son when I die. And the last thing I think about before I fall into sleep, if I do get to sleep, is what's going to happen to Zach when I die.
You hear of these people, looking forward to going to heaven. It's like, no, I want to outlive my son. Do you know what that feels like to think it, let alone say it out loud, that you want to outlive your child?
It destroyed our lives. And my son's life has become being a big baby who lives in a dark room. And that's his life. I will do this until I die. That's my life. My career as a writer, it's on the shelf. My life as a woman is on the shelf. My life as a person is on the shelf.
This is the other side of autism that most people never see. Many individuals with profound autism are so neurologically or physically impaired that they rarely, if ever, appear in public. But just because you don't see them doesn't mean they don't exist. Just because their struggles go unseen doesn't mean they aren't real. They are real. They do exist. And Secretary Kennedy is one of the few public figures willing to acknowledge this truth. He recognizes that these individuals are living with conditions that are not normal and that extend well beyond neurodiversity. And if there's even a possibility that external factors could be contributing to these conditions, and if there's even a chance to prevent unnecessary suffering, then surely we can all agree it's a moral imperative to support Secretary Kennedy and the research that could change lives.